Hallmarkies podcast, and we are so excited. We are so excited about the upcoming Hallmark Christmas season that we had to divide this preview into two parts because there's just so much to talk about. And I'm Rachel, and Amber, do you agree?
Yes, get ready for a super-sized mega Christmas. That was an echo. I'm sure there's a way to enable an echo, but I don't know how, so I'll just make my own.
Yeah, it's too fancy for me. But yeah, we have 37 films to talk about and to preview, and that's just too much for one podcast. Is that correct?
That is correct, because a little behind the scenes information, we tried and I died halfway through. So I was like, this is too many movies to talk about at once. Everyone else will also die if they have to listen to it straight through. So if you are a madman listening to part 2 immediately after part 1, wow. Like, you tag me in the comments and say that you are tougher than me.
Yeah. Let us know, and we will crown you the most dedicated podcast listener that we have.
Yeah.
It'll be very exciting.
See, and putting this in front of part 1 is a good challenge. That way they know that they need to do it for part 2.
That's right. So for this one, we basically went through November for this part of the podcast. So starting...
Yeah, so there's this 37 films in total. And
Hallmark Movies Mysteries.
Yes, obviously both channels hold the same place in our heart. So we ended up going through the first 19 all the way up to A Shoe Addict's Christmas on November 25th. So in part 2, watch out, because it's all December all the time.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And the plan is to post this first part of the preview on the 26th, and the next part the following Friday. So
yes, and the 26th, as all of you know, is Countdown to Christmas Eve, because it is the eve before Countdown to Christmas.
That's right. So it's very hollowed, very exciting. So here we go. Let's preview. Can you explain our ridiculous ranking system that we have for this podcast?
Stop calling it ridiculous. So instead of giving it like we are so excited, a 1, we have decided to give it a stocking ranking. So all of the items are going to be items one would receive in a Christmas stocking. A diamond ring, obviously, being the most sought after and most desired thing in a Christmas stocking, followed closely by an orange. Bringing in third place would be a pair of socks. And in last place, what else but coal? So if we are really excited for the movie, unbelievably excited, it gets a diamond ring. If we think this movie will probably be terrible or it does not excite us, it's going to get a coal. And somewhere in the middle is where we'll rank them.
Yeah, so it's going to be really fun. And you'll definitely have to let us know your rankings of excitement. These could, like, some definitely disappointed last year and were not the diamond rings that we hoped. Like Mr. Christmas Present was very disappointing for me, and I gave that a diamond ring, I believe. And and then there were ones that were way better than expected. I think Miss Christmas was better than expected. I know you liked Song for Christmas much better than you expected. There were a number that surprised us, so that's what we hope.
Yes, so this basically means nothing, but it will be informative and let you know about all of the Hallmark movies that have been announced.
Yes.
I'm just going to go up ahead and put an asterisk on this podcast right now and say, in the footnotes, we're going to say pretty much everything can change. New movies might be added, and titles are likely going to be different. Because this happened to us last year. We were like, perfect. We know all this information is going to be set. There were about 45 movies that were different than what we thought they were going to be.
Although this year we have an ace in our deck, I guess, that in our hand with our friend Cherry, who is incredible and has been such a resource. So we just want to give a huge, she'll be listening, huge shout out to Sherry for all her research that she did to help us with this preview. So huge props.
Yes, Sherry is a social media sleuth extraordinaire, queen of everything.
Yes. So thank you very much. And so let's dive in. When we're covering both Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. So this is exciting. See that we are going to preview is coming to us tomorrow. It's not even Halloween, and it's very, very fun. We have got Christmas at Pemberley Manor. This stars Jessica Lowndes, who's in December Bride, A Magical Christmas, Ornaments, and Yes, I Do, and Michael Rady, Cloudy with a Chance of Love, and A Joyous Christmas. And I do love, Entertainment Weekly had these contains, and I don't know why they make me, I don't think they make anybody else laugh, but they make me laugh, so I'm going to read them. The contains is attractive billionaire and estate in jeopardy.
As Christmas approaches, Elizabeth Bennet, a New York event planner, is sent to a quaint small town to organize their holiday festival. When she arrives, she finds William Darcy, a high-profile billionaire lacking in holiday spirit, in the process of selling the charming estate she hoped to use as a venue. Determined to make her event a success, Elizabeth persuades the reluctant Darcy to let her hold the festival on the historical estate once known for its holiday cheer. When they wind up working together to arrange the festivities, the unlikely pair begins falling for each other. Oh my. But when complications arise, and the festival is unexpectedly shut down, the couple parts ways and Darcy moves forward with his plans to sell the estate. On the night before Christmas, a wistful Elizabeth hopes for a Christmas miracle to revive the festival, save the estate, and rekindle her holiday romance. What's going to happen, Rachel?
So there's two movies that are Pride and Prejudice themed this year for Hallmark. We'll talk about one later on. And this is the one that's from Elizabeth's perspective, and I have read the other book, and we'll talk about it later, but I think this story, I'm more high on this because I think this story works better from Elizabeth's perspective because she's the one that has to do most of the change and takes most of the risk, and I don't know, I just think it becomes more generic when it's a rich girl from the city moving to the small town and meeting a great guy that's really nice. It just is not as interesting. And so I'm actually higher on this than I thought I'd be, I guess because of that comparison, if that makes sense. And I think it'll probably get a little bit of a bump because it is the first one. And, I'll just be so excited for it to be the first one. What do you think? Do you think it'll be influenced yet? It'll get a first movie bump?
It might. Also, it might get the before Halloween slump. Because there might be some hard-nosed people who refuse to watch movies before Halloween. But that being said, I'm pretty excited about it. This was written by Rick Garman, who I think does a lot of great work. So I'm pretty hopeful about the script and so I'm pretty excited about that. I think that I would give this probably an orange.
Yeah, I'm actually giving it an orange as well. But yeah, I think hopefully it'll be fun. All right, next we have Christmas Joy. This is on the 3rd of November, and Danielle Pennebaker, who's in Recipe for Love, of course, Matt Long in his Hallmark debut, and the contains are reignition of old flames and an intense baking competition. Not just a baking competition, it's intense.
Perfect. The plot summary for this is Joy Holbrook is an intuitive market researcher in DC who has captured the attention of the account's CEO and is about to get a sweet promotion just in time for the holidays. She receives an urgent phone call from home and she rushes back to Crystal Falls, North Carolina to help her aunt recover from surgery and is reunited with her former crush, Ben. Oh, hey, Ben! To keep her aunt focused on healing, Joy volunteers to take Ruby's place in the town legendary baking competition, the Cookie Crawl, which is not a great name. Much to the amusement of Ben, who knows Joy has absolutely no idea of the Herculean task before her. Though Joy initially refuses Ben's attempts to co-captain, she begins to soften and let him in, all the while remembering that there truly is no place like home. I feel like the Wizard of Oz is going to sue for that.
Yeah, I don't know. This sounds so ridiculous. The Cookie Crawl, and this is a Herculean task. I mean, I know they take their festivals very seriously, their baking competitions. I know it's intense, and it's a legendary baking competition. But I don't know. I give a good grade to whoever wrote this summary. They did a very good job.
Yeah, they did.
And this is based on a novel by Nancy Nagel. I did not get a chance to read this novel because it is not available in audiobook, which is very helpful to me to be able to get through books faster as I work. But it is co-written by Tracy Andreen, who usually works with Lee Friedlander, who's amazing. And she has a certain degree of, I think, spice to her writing, a certain degree of fun to her writing. So there's some reason to be excited. Danielle Panabaker, I think, is a good actress. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you think, Amber?
I'm really excited about the cast, and like you said, I'm excited about Tracy Andreen co-writing this. I have a little bit of concerns just based on the inside fact that it was initially set to be the premiere movie, and it got bumped. So I don't know if they just think that the other people might bring in more of a draw, or if they're just like, oh, we don't want to start off with this foot. So that's a little nervous. But overall, I'd say I actually am pretty excited about it. But because of that bump, I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a downgrade. So it's kind of like an orange that's been wrapped in a sock.
We'll give this a orange. But yeah, it's kind of like one you're not sure is going to be really ripe or not. So you peel it and you're like, I don't know.
And you're like, oh no, there's sock inside.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right.
So we kind of agree.
Yeah, basically the same. All right, Road to Christmas. We have on the 4th, this is Jessie Schramm, who has been in a million things, Harvest Moon, Royal New Year's Eve, and she's great. Chad Michael Murray, who was in The Beach House earlier this year, Terrell Rothery, who's been in everything. Contains, for this one, are Secret Plan, Family Reunion, and Vermont.
Vermont's a big thing to contain.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. That's a pretty big state.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Actually, I don't even know. Is it a small one? It's one of the little ones.
Vermont is a very teeny tiny state. But for Christmas,
then I see how it can contain it.
But for Christmas joy, Vermont is very big. Like, it's like if you think of Christmas, you think of Vermont.
That's not true, but I think of Santa.
Well, as far as state connections.
Yeah, I think of Santa, the state.
Okay. You're good. I'm surprised it doesn't have family road trip.
Well, maybe who knows? Let's read the plot and see if it's about that. So this movie is a Los Angeles television producer, Maggie Baker, pretty good name, unwittingly falls for Danny Wise, excellent name, the son and former producer of his mother's popular annual Christmas special, Julia Wise Lifestyles. Incredible. When Maggie's secret plan to reunite Danny and his two brothers with Julia during the live broadcast in Vermont goes awry, Maggie is reminded that above all, it is the love for family and friends that makes the merriest of Christmases.
I don't know. What do you think?
That's it. Like, the plot itself seems pretty basic, but I have so much faith in this cast, and the names are amazing. So I am pretty excited. Plus, I'm really excited to see Chad Michael Murray do something in a movie that I probably won't hate.
Mm-hmm.
Like The Beach House, which you liked, but I hated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought he was so flirty and fun in that. So I'm looking forward to seeing him with Jessie. And she's been, I think, great in all of her movies. I've liked all the ones that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Birthday Wish was great. I forgot to mention that. So just on her alone, I am going to give it an orange.
Excellent.
Thinking about maybe a diamond, but I don't know if I'm quite there yet.
This movie was directed by Alan Harmon and written by Zachary Hugg, and I don't know who either of them are. Sorry to their publicists. So I'm gonna give it an orange, but there might be like some diamond
That's
dust
how I feel
on it.
Yeah. All right. Here's one that you will be live tweeting. Can we agree? Please.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe we'll outsource the live tweeting on this one.
It's Mary and Father Christmas, and if you have been following this podcast, you know that engaging Father Christmas took me to a dark place. It was not my fave, and I thought it was just, the story was awful, and I thought that everybody on the Whitcomb family was selfish and terrible, and I hated them. And I didn't think that they used Wendy Malick to be funny and snarky like she's great at. And so, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I know a lot of people love it. I hated it. So now we have the sequel where they're getting married. And it's Aaron Krakow, of course, who's delightful. And in other things. And then Niall Mater, who's also great in other things. And Wendy Malick, who's great in Darrow and Darrow. I just don't like this series. But maybe this one will win me over and be incredible because it contains search for a biological father, mysterious visitor, and wedding drama.
I feel like the person who wrote this didn't actually know what they were writing about. They just read the summary. Because she's not searching for her biological father in this one. That happened in the first movie.
That's what I wondered. I was like, what?
Anyway, so this movie is about when Miranda sets off to find information on her biological father 2 Christmases ago. She never imagined her investigation would lead her to both the love of her life, Ian, and the family she had always longed for, including Margaret Whitcomb, which is a great name. I will still say that. And stepbrother Peter Whitcomb, less good of a name. After her romantic engagement last Christmas, Miranda prepares for a Christmas wedding surrounded by this new family. While Miranda finalizes the details of her big day, like, is she going to move to the town? Is he moving? I hope we find out. Margaret forges a surprise romance with a friend from the past. Yeah, Wendy Malick, get it, girl. Miranda's wedding plans are quickly complicated when a mysterious visitor who claims to have ties to her late parents reaches out to her just days before her wedding. As Miranda's wedding approaches, she must decide if she wants to spend one of the most momentous days of her life with this new family connection and must carefully navigate the first steps into the next chapter of her life with Ian. I fell asleep halfway through that.
I wonder if the reporter will try to use it to manipulate her again. It's just not for me. I just feel like I just don't like these characters. I feel like they're kind of selfish. And why is she even considering spending Christmas with these new people when she's got the supposed family for Christmas? Like, you don't do that. Like, what? And especially when she's about to get married. Like, what? And so, yeah, I give it a coal big lump.
Yeah. Coal. I don't want to say too much about it because we're going to get in trouble for saying coal, but I mean, frankly, it's coal.
It is. It's coal. Sorry. Caroline will have to forgive us.
She'll never forgive us.
No, she won't. Okay, so it's Christmas Eve, and this on the 10th, and it has Leanne Rimes in her Hallmark debut, and Tyler Hines, who was in Falling for You, and we have our interview with him. You can check it out. He was great. And so we have I don't know why I'm the only one who probably thinks this is funny. Multiple rhymes performances. School budget. Multiple rhymes performances, school budget trims, and internet crowdfunding.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He says, as interim school superintendent, Eve trims budget, and now she's in her hometown where it's personal. Her handsome neighbor, Liam, which, by the way, have we already had a Liam? I think we have.
We did,
is a music teacher, and Eve feels his program must be cut. But luckily, her friend is married to an IT guy who's created a website for donations directly to Save the Arts program. Launched during the tree lighting ceremony where Liam's students will perform, the website could provide the Christmas miracle the town needs. Already the universe is cooperating. Eve is back home, and she, Liam, and his daughter look like they might be celebrating many a future Christmas. This movie sounds terrible, but this person who wrote this is amazing.
Yeah. Well, here's the things that I have to hope about this movie. I do think that Tyler Hynes, I fell in love with him in Falling for You. So I'm pretty excited to see him in another movie. I feel like him and Leanne will probably have decent chemistry, and I do think she's a good singer. I mean, some people hate her singing. I like her singing, and I've heard the songs from the album, whatever, that goes along with the movie, and I think they're nice. I like them. So, but it does sound very Christmas melody to me, and I'm not that big a fan of that one. It's not Lacey Chabert's best movie, so the plot doesn't sound great. But it probably won't have sexy Santa little girls singing song like that movie does. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm very mixed, I guess, actually, about this movie. But I think I'm going to go to Sock.
All right. So the cast is great for me. Mm-hmm. And this one was also written by Tracy Andreen, so that's a point in its favor. I'm not familiar with the director, so he doesn't do anything for me. But this movie also has Giles Panton.
Oh, yeah.
Who's gonna be everywhere this Christmas because he's in at least 3 Hallmark movies and 2 Lifetime Christmas movies and an Up Christmas movie. The boy's been busy. So it's exciting to see the first sighting of him of the season. It's like reindeer, I guess. And so that being said, I'm gonna give it Socks with some orange zest.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I'm basically on the same page.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just messaging Emma.
But the plot is pretty lame.
So,
although the universe is already cooperating. That's what it said.
Oh, right. Okay, next we have Christmas in Love. And this is on the 11th of November. And it has Brooke D'Orsay, who is in one of our favorites, How to Fall in Love. But also was in Miss Christmas last year, which got a big 5 from us, which was very exciting. And it has Dana Lissing from When Calls the Heart and Mary Margaret Humes from Home by Spring, which I try to think about as little as possible.
No, Mary Margaret Humes from Dawson's Creek.
Okay. And the contains are Quaint Bakery, threat of layoffs, and automation.
This movie, Ellie Hartman is an inspiring crafter working in her small town's bakery, making famous Christmas Kringles. Ooh. When the new big city CEO, Nick Carlingson, visits the bakery, he arrives filled with modernization ideas destined to lay off many employees. What a nice guy. During his visit, Ellie is to teach Nick how to make a Kringle and determined to show him it's the people who make the business a success, not machines. I think the machines are going to win. This is a Terminator movie. Nick meets more of the employees and townspeople, visits the food bank, and begins to see all the kindness that is shared, and he begins to soften. Though, not convinced automation isn't better. Struggling with chasing her own entrepreneurial dreams, Ellie begins to fall for Nick, but not before feeling betrayed when she inadvertently sees Nick's laptop filled with automation plans. I mean, I hate when I see robots on someone's computer.
Like, spoiler alert,
I know, this movie is the whole movie. When Nick finally tells the employees his future ideas for the company, Ellie must decide if she should trust him, but more importantly, whether to take a leap of faith in making her own dreams come true.
Yeah. How do you feel in general about Christmas businesses and the takeovers, like the Santa hat one, for instance, this kind of a thing in
I
Hallmark?
mean, I don't know. It's kind of stupid. Like, I don't really, frankly, I know the towns aren't going to be destroyed because that's not Christmassy. So there's no stakes. It's not interesting. What I do think is interesting is I'm not sure if he's like trying to take over or if he's like been brought in as a consultant. And if it's just a consultancy, I feel better about it. I don't know.
Yeah, because it just says visits.
Mm-hmm.
But he arrives with modernization ideas to lay off many employees. That makes me laugh. He's probably like a consultant kind of a thing. And it can work in some of them that just can be so cute. It's not exactly the same, but Love of the Thanksgiving Day Parade is kind of that idea. Like the you have the quaint lady, and then you have the consultant coming in to make it more effective. Like that dynamic has been done many times. But you know what? I'm not that convinced that they're going to have great chemistry. For some reason, I just feel like Brooke D'Orsay, I know she'll be a light and wonderful and beautiful, but I don't know. Her and Daniel Lissing, for some reason, I'm just not sure that they'll have great chemistry.
Yeah, I feel that same kind of way.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is going to get a bump. It's going to get a Brooke bump because I love her so much and I think she's going to do such a good job. But I don't know. I'm going to end up giving this one socks. That means without Brooke D'Orsay, this is a Cole movie.
Yeah. I think so too. I'm going to also give it a sock. So we're just on the same page about this season.
Yes. Why are there even two of us?
They had the name Christmas Recipe in Love or something like that. I like that much better than Christmas in Love. Like, what?
Yeah, it's boring. It has nothing to do with the movie.
What's that?
Yeah, that's boring. It has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Then we have A Veteran's Christmas. This is on Movies Mysteries, of course. And this has Eloise Mumford, who was in Christmas with Holly, and Sean Ferris, who was also in Christmas with Holly. So it's a little bit of a reunion. And contains our small town stranding, possible reunion with a canine, likely romance between decorating war vet and judge. So there you go.
There you go.
Oh, did I say decorating? I could read again, darn it. So the contains are small town stranding, I didn't know that's a word, possible reunion with a canine, likely romance between decorated war vet and judge. So there we go.
This movie is about Captain Grace Garland, a decorated U.S. veteran who returns home after two tours of search and rescue in Afghanistan. After being separated from her beloved canine partner, Grace must rediscover the magic of Christmas. When she finds herself stranded in the town of Rivers Crossing, a couple of weeks before Christmas, the local judge, Joe Peterson, hubba hubba, offers her a place to stay on his property and takes it upon himself to show Grace everything she has been missing. Christmas, family, community, and love. Yeah.
I'm actually really high on this. I think this sounds so sweet, especially once you're involving the reunion of a soldier and a puppy. I mean, come on. That's going to be so cute. And I think the fact they've worked together before and been good before, and so they'll, I think, have good chemistry. So I think this might be my first diamond ring.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a zesty sock.
What? Really?
I don't know. The whole thing just seemed a little too much for me. Why is she stranded? What about this dog? I don't love dog stories most of the time. It's a fine balance. I'm just saying, odds are for me, this is a zesty sock.
I think it sounds really sweet. I'm on board.
I know you gave it a diamond ring. I gave it less. That's why we have opinions.
That's right. Okay. Next, we have Christmas at Graceland. This is on the 17th. This was, I believe, the first film ever to be allowed to be filmed in Graceland, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty crazy. So this stars Kelly Pickler in her debut, and Wes Brown, who has been in a million, was recently just in Under the Autumn Moon. And so it contains reignition of old flames, bank acquisition, and Memphis Blues.
All right. So in this movie, Laurel, a Chicago-based business executive, travels to Memphis to secure one of the city's oldest family-owned banks. What? Who buys a bank? While in Memphis, Laurel reunites with old flame Clay, a local music promoter with loftier aspirations. Though Laurel tries to keep her eye on the prize of the business acquisition, Clay is very persuasive. How does he persuade her? Reminding her of the days when they were a performing duo on the brink of stardom. Now Laurel's focus turns to the home of the blues and dreams of making music again.
So I guess both according to our friend Sherry, she said that I guess Wes is also going to be singing in addition to Kelly in the movie. So that's fun. I guess he has experience as a singer, I guess. And I like Kelly Pickler as a singer. I think she's a pretty good singer. And so that's probably my biggest excitement, and just the whole Graceland thing I think will be fun. And I'm not convinced, though, that Kelly Pickler will be a very good actress. And so that's my concern with the film. I don't know. What are you going to give it? I can't decide.
I'm going to give it, I don't know. It's tough. Socks. I feel like I'm being really mean, but socks is not cool.
Socks is not cool. What did you give Mary and Father Christmas? I can't even remember. I've already forgotten.
Coal.
That's right. Okay. I was gonna say. Yeah, and this is produced by the person who did Home by Spring, which
I liked and you didn't.
No, it was terrible. So I'm also gonna give it a sock, but
hey, yeah. This is a challenge. This is a call to arms. You impress us, and we will eat those socks.
That's right.
Not literally.
Yes, we want to see all of these socks turn into diamond rings so much. All right, we have Return to Christmas Creek. This is on the 17th. This stars Tori Anderson, Stephen Huszar, who was in Magical Christmas Ornaments, and Stephen Weber, and who was in Duke, which was so sad. It was so good. And then Carrie Matchett, and it contains Holiday Homecoming, Romance with Childhood Friend, Family Feud, and Unconventional Toy Deliveries.
Okay. And I'm just going to warn you right now, this summary is long, so you might want to go take a bathroom break right now. It is long. So, as Christmas approaches, Amelia, a career-focused app developer who hates Christmas, I'm summarizing, goes back to the small town of Christmas Creek to rediscover the meaning of Christmas. There she reunites with her childhood best friend Mike and her estranged uncle Harry, whose mysterious rift with Amelia's father divided her family during the holiday season when she was a child. As she engages in local festivities, she begins falling for Mike, and she feels the Christmas spirit again, looking forward to Harry's Christmas Eve tradition of delivering toys to needy children in his small private airplane.
Like one does. Toy delivery.
Meanwhile, Harry begins repairing the damaged relationship with his ex-girlfriend, Pamela. This is where it gets complicated. But as she helps prepare Harry's plane for the toy delivery, a shocked Amelia learns her parents have unexpectedly shown up in town for the holiday, adding more people, and is crushed when her father and Harry resume their long-standing feud. On Christmas Eve, disappointed by her family's fighting, Amelia prepares to return to Chicago and leave behind Christmas Creek and her budding romance with Mike along with it. But just as about to leave, she feels a burst of inspiration that just might turn things around and help her family finally restore peace and embrace romance as love prepares to take flight for Christmas.
Yeah. Woo! Good job.
How long is this movie? That took me 90 minutes to read.
I don't know. If you guys stopped listening, you come back.
Come back. It's over, I promise.
I don't know. I feel like this could be fun if they have chemistry, but I'm not feeling it super much. So I think we another sock.
I'm going straight up coal for this.
Yeah.
If you need to throw that many twists and turns and surprise parents and oops, a surprise extra relationship for the uncle. And while we're at it, there's a plane that drops presents out of the sky. I don't know that it does that, but it'd be better if it does.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's coal.
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand and empathize with your coal. All right. Next we have The Godwink Christmas. This is on the 18th. And it has, can you believe it, Amber? Kimberly Sested and Paul Campbell. So exciting. And it also has Giles Panton, who we love.
Giles Panton and Kathy Lee Gifford.
And so, and oh, that's right, Kathy Lee Gifford. And we actually previewed this last year, believe it or not, but then it didn't end up happening. But this year it's definitely happening. It's done. And it contains multiple trips to Nantucket and engagement that doesn't feel right. A Hoda-less Kathy Lee Gifford. So there you go.
There you go. And the summary for this says, as Christmas approaches, Paula, a St. Louis, did you say Louis or Louis?
I say St. Louis, unless I'm saying...
I'm very familiar. We're best friends. So St. Louis, antique appraiser, reluctantly accepts a marriage proposal from her boyfriend, Daniel, a career-focused attorney. When her Aunt Jane senses she has mixed emotions over the engagement, she invites Paula to her Nantucket home. Upon her arrival, Paula plans a trip to the nearby island of Martha's Vineyard, where she meets Gary, a charming inn owner. And if he's played by Paul Campbell, which he is, he'll be the charmingest inn owner in all of Indom.
That's right.
When bad weather prevents her from departing, Paula winds up staring at Gary's inn and enjoying local holiday festivities alongside him. They begin to have feelings for each other. Scandal! But when the weather clears up, they part ways, and Paula returns to Nantucket. Sensing she's fallen for Gary, Aunt Jane shares with Paula that her belief that their meeting was God's way of winking at her to help her determine which direction her life should take. When Daniel surprises her by spontaneously arriving in Nantucket, Paula decides to move forward with their marriage plans. What, Paula? Back in St. Louis, Daniel soon returns to his all business ways, and a fed-up Paula finally realizes they're not compatible. When Jane invites her back to Nantucket for Christmas, Paula accepts, unaware that Jane has devised a plan to bring her and Gary together. From author Squire Rushnell of the Godwinks book series.
So, Amber, if you just had the summary, what would you give it?
I don't know. Just the summary, not knowing anything about anyone in it.
Yeah.
Probably socks.
Yeah. But knowing the cast and maybe seeing the trailers and stuff that we've seen, what do you give it?
I'm giving it a diamond ring.
Yeah, that's right. So I actually read this Godwinks book, and they're kind of like Chicken Soup for the Soul books. There's like cute little inspirational stories. And the idea is it's like these little miracles that happen in life where you're like, how did we meet at this place at this time? And you said that exact thing that I needed to help me in my life. That happens hopefully with all of us from time to time, just like us meeting about podcasting with me. That was the Godwink in our life, I think. But anyway, it's cute. It's really fun. And then, yeah, I mean, come on, get out of here with this cast. Paul Campbell, Kimberly Sustad. I think it's going to be super sweet and fun. And so, yeah, Diamond Ring, let's do it. It's going to be good.
I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They are literally my dream cast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know where to go from now.
Christmas in Evergreen, Letters to Santa. So this is our sequel. Very exciting. Christmas in Evergreen. Can we say that?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. And it had a fun cast. And I really liked Holly Robinson Peete. I thought her character was really funny. And her festival Zilla, I thought was brilliant. And they should put it in way more of these movies. But anyway, so there's Letters to Santa. And we have Jill Wagner, my cousin, stepping in as the lead. And they have Mark Declan, Holly Robinson Peete, Barbara Niven, Andrew Francis, woohoo, and Ashley Williams. I don't think Ashley Williams is going to be in it very much. I don't know.
She's probably there to hand the reindeer reins to Jill Wagner.
Because I haven't seen her like in any of the publicity, I feel like. So I don't know. But anyway, the contains are Save the General Store campaign, undelivered letters to Santa, and a hot contractor.
Heck
that's
yeah.
Very exciting. Hopefully that's Andrew Francis.
It's not.
Darn it.
I want Andrew Francis to be a proper secondary character who gets to be the lead in the third movie.
Yeah, I can approve that. Okay.
All right. So this movie says, when Lisa takes a last-minute Christmas trip to her hometown of Evergreen, she finds that the historic general store has been closed. Is that the store with the shaking snow globe?
Snow globe, yeah.
Using her skills as a professional retail designer, Lisa decides to keep local tradition alive and help the good people of Evergreen bring the store back to life. As Lisa charms a local contractor named Kevin into working with her, the pair find themselves facing one surprise after another as they restore the store to its former glory. Restore the store is difficult to say. When the staff at the Kringle Kitchen, the Kringle Kitchen? Temporarily accept the store's beloved mailbox to Santa for safekeeping, the townspeople find and rally around a mysterious 25-year-old letter that never made it to the North Pole. As old traditions are made new again, Lisa finds herself falling for Kevin, the traditions, and the town of Evergreen.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess maybe Jill was just so tired of shaking that snow globe last year. She's like, no more snow globes.
You mean Ashley Williams? Oh no, the snow globe from
Maggie.
Maggie, yeah. She did shake that thing and look at it so intensely.
So long. I don't know. What do you feel about this?
Okay, so I am really excited about this. Like, I almost started to cry reading this thing when they were talking about the mysterious 25-year-old letter that was never made to the North Pole. I mean, I know they're just basically stealing Signed Sealed Delivers niche here.
Oh, clever. Yeah.
But I love that, so I'm fine with it. I'm honestly, and Teddy Sears is, I don't think, in it, so I won't be worried about being murdered. So I'm giving this a diamond ring.
Yeah. Huh. A diamond ring, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I hope it'll be cute, and it does have my cousin, so I think I will give it an orange.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be really great.
Yeah. And I guess Barbara Niven is going to be back, right? Yeah, Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara, and and Rick Garman wrote this.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I know I am. I always think I'm right.
All right. Last Vermont Christmas. This was the most recent ad that we just got a couple weeks ago after the Entertainment Weekly story. It's Last Vermont Christmas. This is the 19th of November. It stars Erin Cahill, who's in Sleigh Bells Ring, and Justin Bruning from Thanksgiving House. And it contains sibling reunion, Vermont, guy who weirdly wants to buy his ex-girlfriend's family home.
Yeah, he does.
Weirdly.
He's the guy who's like, give me that house.
I guess that is sort of a weird thing to do. What are you going to do? I don't know. That's
okay. The three Marvin sisters, Megan, Bethany, and Mary, gather from across the country to spend Christmas together under the same roof in their beloved childhood home. And while they couldn't be any more different from one another, They all agree on one thing. There's nothing more magical than spending Christmas together with their parents. Unfortunately, this legacy is coming to an end as their parents have decided to sell the house, and their buyer is Megan's former high school sweetheart, Nash. What a name.
Yeah.
As she returns home this Christmas, Megan works to keep her beloved childhood home that is being bought by her high school sweetheart. And so this movie, to me, it kind of sounds like in Pride and Prejudice when Mr. Collins wants to marry her so she can keep the house. Like, this is what I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Elizabeth is going to marry Collins so she can keep the house.
Here's a bad sign for this movie. It was written by the same person who wrote The Perfect Christmas Present, our not-so-favorite movie last year.
But here's a good sign for this movie. It was written by the same person that you're talking about who also wrote Snowman's.
Yeah, that's true. Snowman's was really good.
So we have nothing to say. I like it.
They cancel each other out, right? Yeah, so do you know either who's these actresses? Oh, Erin Cahill.
And she's cute.
Yeah, so I will give this an orange.
Okay, and the guy who directed this also directed The Spirit of Christmas, which was, I don't know what network it was from, but it's amazing, and Rachel has never seen. I'm going to give this one an orange as well.
All right, Hope at Christmas. This on the 20th. This has Ryan Pavey, and who's in the Darcy movies, and Harvest Love, and Scotty Thompson as a debut. And it contains inheritance, bookstore, and a town Santa.
All right. And so this movie, Sydney Ragsdale, recently divorced, decides to spend Christmas in a house she inherited with her young daughter. As Sydney begins to spend more time at the local bookstore, she meets a teacher, Mac, who also fills in for the town Santa. Mac tries to make Christmas wishes come true, and this year, Sydney is at the top of his nice list. As a new opportunity with the bookstore unfolds, Mac helps Sydney open herself up to life, love, and believing in the spirit of Christmas again.
Yes. So I have actually read this book. This book they didn't change the name. This is the name of the book, Hope at Christmas, by Nancy Nagel. And it's perfectly serviceable, I guess. It's perfectly cute. It is a little bit spicy, so they definitely have to tone it down. But I think this one will completely depend upon the chemistry between Ryan Pavey and this Scotty Thompson. Do you agree?
Yeah, I guess. It seems pretty boring.
Yeah. It wasn't.
That being said, I'm going to give it socks. I mean, I have a lot of faith. Ron Oliver, helped write it. He's amazing. And it does have one of my favorite people, Nelson Wong, in it, because he's just great. But that being said, I'm going socks.
Yeah, I mean, I give it a sock. I feel like usually the movies that are based on books are a little better because there's sort of like another rough draft. So I'm hoping they'll elevate it. Yeah, so it's like a orange sock, orange colored sock for me, but we'll see. Okay, next we have Christmas at Grand Valley. This is on the 21st. This stars Danica Mckellar. And this one might have been moved around now that I think about it. But anyway, this was the latest date that we had. Christmas at Grand Valley, Danica Mckellar, Brennan Elliott, Dan Lauria, who worked with her on The Wonder Years. So that's a great get for Hallmark. Very smart. And it contains holiday homecoming, artist rediscovering her passion in more ways than one.
Hey now. Don't talk about her passion like that.
It's pretty exciting.
All right, so this says, burned out from the hubbub of the Chicago gallery world, artist Kelly returns home to the picturesque Grand Valley just in time for Christmas. Maybe her favorite town's shining season will reinvigorate her love of art and guide her down her next path. Leo, businessman and all-star dad to his children, which is nice to see. Most of the time you don't get to see that because they either make them one or the other.
Yeah.
Struggles to balance his time this holiday season. When he is assigned to review a hotel in Grand Valley for its value, he sees this as a perfect opportunity for a Christmas family vacation. It isn't long until Kelly and Leo's worlds collide. As Kelly re-experiences her favorite Grand Valley traditions with Leo and his children, she begins to find her way back to her passion for art.
So, are you excited to have a Wonder Years reunion?
I'm excited for the Wonder Years reunion. I'm excited for the pairing of Danica Mckellar and Brennan Elliott because they're both outstanding. Yeah, I think it's great. The plot seems a little meh, but that being said, I am going to give this an orange with like the hint of diamonds.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give this a diamond ring because I think that Danica will be super cute with kids. I think it'll have really cute moments. And at least it's not like a Save the Farm story. At least it's something a little different. I'm just going to go for it. And there we go. Okay, Christmas at the Palace. This is on the 22nd. We have Merritt Patterson, who was, of course, in Royal Wedding and recently Wedding March 4. Brittany Bristow, who was in Love on Safari recently. And there contains lots of ice skating, a king who's skating on thin ice by falling for his daughter's instructor.
Yeah, I mean, and that basically tells you the plot. Katie, a former professional ice skater, Merritt Patterson, just so you know, I was curious about who was going to be the main girl since I want Brittany Bristow to be the main girl. Sounds like she's not. Is hired by the king of Sansova, an amazing kingdom name. The king's name is Alexander, to help his daughter in a Christmas ice skating performance. As Katie spends time in the castle and with the king, she and Alex begin to develop feelings for each other and ultimately fall in love. But will the tradition-loving people of Sansova, still a great name, allow their king to make a foreigner their queen? It worked for Prince Harry.
Yeah, that's right. So I think this sounds really fun and something just a tiny bit different. I know we've gotten like a million princess movies this year, but for the most part, I actually enjoyed them. I liked them. And I like Mary Patterson. I like Brittany Bristow. So I'm going to give it a diamond ring. I'm going to really like it.
Okay. And Andrew Cooper is the guy in it, and he's handsome.
That's right. He was in Once Upon a Prince, correct?
Royal Hearts.
Oh, Royal Hearts. Yeah, I love that.
And the only thing about this movie is, what is Brittany Bristow in this movie?
Yeah, I don't know. But it was filmed in Romania.
Yes. So I'm excited for it. That being said, I'm only going to give it an orange just because I need to know what's going on with my Brit.
All right. So we have Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe. So on the 23rd, Lacey Chabert, Brendan Penny, and then we have contains Holiday Homecoming, reconciliation with parents, old rivalry blossoming into romance.
Okay. This one, Darcy, that's Lacey Chabert, has always worked hard to prove herself and be successful on her own terms, even choosing to start her own company rather than work with her father. Returning to her hometown for Christmas, Darcy reconnects with an old rival, restaurant owner Luke, and they are forced to plan a charity event together. As Darcy spends time with her family and Luke, she starts to realize what matters most in life and sets out to mend her relationship with her father and possibly fall in love, based on the book of the same title by Melissa de la Cruz. So The thing about this, I haven't read the book, and this is just a high concept thing. I don't think they understand Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Yeah, elaborate a little bit.
So Darcy's not just like a jerk who hates people.
Right.
Like, he's like socially awkward and shy and super hardworking. And he would never not work with his father. Like, he's all about family.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I I think I did read the book. And my problem, like I mentioned a little bit before, my problem with the book is that I don't think it works to have the story told from Darcy's perspective, because I just think that you have this, you basically have Luke, the Lizzie character, that it was kind of, I don't know, they kind of made her sort of a paragon of virtue, and she's coming from the big city. It's kind of Sweet Home Alabama in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe Lacey Chabert can pull that off because, she's great. But the way it is in the book, at least, I just felt like it was very bland and very not fun. And I love Pride and Prejudice knockoffs and I like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Nobody liked that. I liked Unleashing Mr. Darcy. I like my Pride and Prejudice takes, I'm fine with that. But I just didn't love the book, and so that's definitely influencing my choice. But I do have faith in Nina that she will do what she can with it, and I do like Brendan Penny and Lacey Chabert. So I'm torn.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same place as you. This plot doesn't scream to me, I love it, but I love Nina. I think she does great work, sometimes with not the best material.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read the book. It might be amazing to me, but just high concept, it's not for me right now. But I love Nina. I have so much faith in her. I love Lacey. I have so much faith in her. And I love Brendan. I have so much faith in him. I am going to end up giving this an orange, which surprises me, but that's what I'm going with.
But do you agree that the Jessica Lowndes one sounds like the more promising one, just on paper?
Just on paper, agree. I agree, yeah. But I think I didn't give that one an orange. But that's because I have so much faith in Nina.
Yeah.
She better not disappoint me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to make her eat an orange.
Yeah. So I have to be honest, and I am very affected by the fact that I didn't love the book. So I am going to give it a sock. And so I hope that I will be proven wrong on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Next we have Christmas Everlasting. This is the Hall of Fame one, correct? Yes.
Yes.
And this is the 24th of November, and it stars Tatiana Ali, Dondre T. Whitefield, who, if you're a Cosby Show fan, he was played Robert on the Cosby Show, who was one of Vanessa's boyfriends. And there's like an epic scene where Cliff explains to him, like tries to find out if he was like what he was doing with Vanessa with like apples, and it's really funny. And he was a very memorable character, Robert. And so when I found it, I was like, this is so exciting. Anyway, so Patti LaBelle, Dennis Haybert, and I have something to say about that coming up. So this is based on the novel, which I have read, called Second Sister. And it contains family funeral, surprise inheritance, reignition of old flames.
All right. And the plot says, Christmas is fast approaching, and years of long workdays employed at New York's top corporate law firm are about to pay off now that Lucy Toomey will be made partner after the new year. However, when Alice, her older sister with special needs, unexpectedly passes away, Lucy returns back to Nielsen's Bay, Wisconsin, to attend the funeral and handle her estate. While Lucy dreads returning to her childhood home, she also feels real sorrow that she was too busy to take her sister's last call. Once back in Nielsen's Bay, Lucy meets Peter, her old high school sweetheart, and Alice's former attorney, who informs her of the terms of Alice's eccentric will that states in order for Lucy to inherit the family home, she must live there for 30 days throughout the holidays.
Yeah. So this looks pretty close to the book. The one big change that they made is in the book, she's working for a presidential campaign that actually like wins. And so she's going to be in like presidential cabinet and everything like that. And she's been working, and she like believes in this candidate more than even the candidate believes in himself. And and so that's part of the reason why she's been distanced. And I do feel like this is a bit of a missed opportunity to turn her into an attorney, because you have Dennis Haysbert, president.
Yeah.
You could have him play the president. It would be great. Return to form. That's how we all know him, from playing the president on 24.
Yeah.
That would be great. So that's my only what? But I think they would definitely soften it quite a bit. Do you want me to tell you something else that might be spoilery?
Nope, don't tell me.
Don't tell you? Okay, I won't. But anyway, they'll have to soften it a little bit, kind of like with the Richard Paul Evans books. But it's pretty close, it sounds like, to the book. And I think it's a pretty appealing cast. Patti LaBelle is great, and Tatiana Lee is charming. So I'm feeling pretty positive about it. I think it'll be sweet. And so I think I will give it an orange.
So people who listen to the podcast will know I don't like sad movies, and this sounds tremendously sad and very cryy. And the cast is incredible, and it's probably going to be really good. But just on principle, I'm only giving it socks.
Okay.
Because I don't like crying.
See, I like crying. I don't mind crying.
I just don't. I have my ways.
That's fine. I think that's a lame title, Christmas Everlasting. But I don't know. They could call it like the Christmas Sister or something like that. That would be better. Anyway, okay. We have Christmas we have Christmas on Honeysuckle Lane. This is on the 24th. It stars Alicia Witt and Colin Ferguson, and I think that is a brilliant combination. Very excited. And they have sibling reunion, bittersweet, sifting through dead parents' belongings.
All right, and this is Emma returns home to celebrate Christmas for the last time with her siblings in the house they grew up in. After their parents' recent passing, the siblings reluctantly agreed to sell the family home on Honeysuckle Lane, leaving Emma in charge of its belongings. While Emma's mother's collection is being appraised, they find a hidden surprise that takes them on a journey to discover the power of love and family during the holidays, based on the book by Mary Elizabeth McDonough. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If this movie did not star Alicia Witt and Colin Ferguson, I would be way less excited.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. It also has Laura Leighton, who did some movies way back and was also in Love Notes for Lifetime, which is one of my faves. So I agree with you, but hopefully it'll be really sweet. I'm hoping it'll be sweet. I have 5 siblings and we are all super different. And so I hope I'll connect with it in that regard.
Yeah. So I mean, I have so much faith in them, but also I don't have a lot of faith in the plot. So I'm going to go ahead and give it socks, but with some orange dust. Okay. Orange zesty socks.
I'm going to give it an orange. I hope it'll be sweet, but we'll see. Okay. Next we have A Shoe Axe Christmas. Damon Bure and Luke McFarlane, who love that combination. I think that's going to be really good. And it contains department store stranding, guardian angel, department store, and hot firefighter neighbor.
Yes, and it says, as Christmas approaches, Noelle is at a crossroads in her life when it seems that love, a connection with her father, and her dream career are out of reach. When she stays late at her job in the department store on a snowy Christmas Eve, she accidentally gets locked in after closing, which is legitimately a dream of mine. A quirky woman appears out of nowhere in the shoe department and tells Noelle that she's her guardian angel. Soon, Noelle finds herself revisiting Christmases past, present, and future as she must work with her new neighbor, a handsome Christmas-loving firefighter, to plan the annual Christmas charity gala. Will visiting the holidays of yesterday and tomorrow help Noelle take new chances and discover the true spirit of Christmas? And in realizing that the only thing standing in her way of leading a fulfilling life is herself, will the love she has longed for all her life be the best surprise gift of all?
So I read this book and it is really funny and I really enjoyed it. So I hope that they bring in some of that comedy from the book into the movie. And I love Christmas Carol. I'm like Christmas Carol junkie. This definitely has some of that feel. And so I'm really excited about this movie. I think it's going to be great. And I love Luke McFarlane. I love, CCB's always solid. So I'm going to give it a diamond ring. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive. This movie also has Adam Hertig, who we love and I love, and Rachel's best friend is him.
That's right.
We are not acquainted, so I'm not his best friend. And then it's also written by Rick Garman, once again. Like, the guy is busier than Giles Panton, and that's saying something. Yeah, this movie seems pretty incredible. Plus, it has Christmas magic. Plus, it's kind of a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diamond Ring all the way.
Yeah. There you have it. That's the end of part 1. We talked about all of these many, many, many exciting movies, and some were socks, some were coal, but some very select ones got our oranges, and even more select got our diamond rings. So let us know what rating you would give these films, and which one out of these ones that we talked about in this preview you're the most excited about. So that will be really great. We'd love to hear your feedback on Twitter or in the comment section. Let us know.
Yeah, and make sure that you flip over to side B for part 2.
That's right.
Just kidding. This is not an album or a cassette. There is no side B. Just go to the next track.
That's right.
Although at this point, by the time part 2 comes out, there's going to be like 2 other podcasts in the middle because Rachel's a machine.
Yeah. So it's going to be, this is the like the playoffs for Hallmark. So it's
true. It's the big time. Yeah. Speaking of big time, the podcast tomorrow, just a little bit of hype, is something super special and a super fun game that's going to be going on throughout the rest of the Christmas season. And you guys really are going to want to listen to it. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, it really was. It really is. You guys will love it. And we've got such an exciting season ahead for y'all. We have great guests. We have great interviews scheduled. And so we're really excited. We'd love to get your feedback. Make sure you put in the comments and everywhere else what you think. And we'd love your suggestions. And we're excited to hopefully be live tweeting as many of the movies as we can. We're going to do our best. And so that'll be great. Make sure you're following us on social media at Hallmarkies Pod, all over social media. And please put in your reviews on iTunes. It really helps us out. It helps more people to find out about the podcast. So we really appreciate it. And Amber, where can people find you?
As always, I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and on YouTube. So make sure to check that out. I really appreciate it. And we will talk to you all soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you on the flip side.